Right, well, welcome to my little review and fitment guide to the Sena, or Sena if you're American, 20S intercom system. Now, this kit is the latest model from Sena. This is the new top of the line model. This is the model which does all the bells and whistles, group intercom up to 8 people, FM radio, integration with your phone so people can call in via mobile phone, and then that phone call can also be shared up to 8 parties in the group. The big thing about this one is it will actually join and pair with any other Bluetooth intercom. So you're not fixed to a particular make. You're not fixed to having a Sena intercom. This will pair with any Bluetooth intercom, which is a massive bonus. So this is it. So let's just get it out the box. What I've done, I have already opened this and I've already updated the firmware on these. So when they come, there was an update available. So I've installed the application on my PC, device manager, and actually connected these, and I've updated the firmware. So what do you get with the unit? You get the boom mic, you get the main module which attaches to your helmet, you get the actual intercom itself which slides down and connects. Just a case of getting it lined up correctly on the runner, and it slides down, just clips into place like that. Obviously a dual one, so you get double of everything. So that's basically what you get with the kit. Got 2 of those. There we go. So you get a boom mic and a wired mic included, spacers for your speakers, charger, USB charger, and the adapter to help you fit it. Now the way these actually mount to the helmet is you have like a bracket which you slide that up inside behind your lining, and the other side on the outside of the helmet, and you basically screw these down to sort of clamp it directly onto the helmet. Now that'll work for 90% of the helmet designs out there, but it won't work for all of them. So you actually get some sticky pads failing that. So if you can't mount it via the clamp, you can actually mount it with a sticky pad to the side of your helmet. But obviously the clamp is better. The clamp is more secure. So I'm hoping I'm going to be able to use the clamp method on my helmet in a minute when we try and fit this. So here we go. This is the unit. We have the button here to release the module from its boom. There you go. Press that. We'll just bring it apart. Clip it back together again. We have a button on the bottom, which is the ambience button. So pressing that will bring up the sort of the ambient sound around you while you've got your helmet on. So it's basically got an external mic, so that will play sounds sort of a petrol station. You can hear the attendant properly without taking your helmet on. Get pulled over by the coppers. You better hear what they're saying. You've got charging port on the back. Opening that gives access to the charge, USB charger. Your phone button, pressing that will bring it into phone mode. Then you can cycle through stuff with the jog button and then pressing that one again to select. When it's turned on, holding that button and that button down together will bring the unit on, and you'll see it'll be flashing now. There we go. It's now operational with the blue flashing light. For the intercom, you've got a little aerial which pops up on the unit, which gives it some extra range. You get up to 1.2 miles with this, so it really does have an exceptionally long range on it. That will just clip back down again, like so. And of course, you've got your attached high-quality speakers as well. Now, another great feature with this, and a first for Sena, is there's an app. So you can actually control, because it's quite a complex device where you can set up multiple groups for your intercoms, just volumes for fade-in for your phone and your music when people talk. It's quite complex. So they've actually invented an app to control it all by. So if we go in, I'll show you the app. Turn the unit on, hold that button down and the phone button down until we start flashing. Okay, yeah, so I've gone in. This is the app. I've connected to the device. If you click on it, you can set up your own group names for everything. Let's go back. It tells you your firmware is up to date. Basic settings. You can switch on and off like audio multitasking, intercom audio overlay. There's all sorts of settings. Navigation, app support, audio boost. I guess if you want the voice commands turned on, HD intercom turned on, 8-way intercom on or off. Voice prompt, advanced noise control. So you can see you can actually go in and you can play around and set this up, set some speed dials up for the phone, FM radio, configure do a search and configure your FM radio stations you want to use. So it makes it easier. It makes it easier. There's even the full instructions are on here from the manual as well. So you've got your instructions for quick reference. So it's a good little bit of kit, and that's a first with the app. So I think that'd be really useful for making adjustments while it's fixed to your helmet. You can take your phone out and play with it, as opposed to trying to work it and take your helmet off. You can actually do it just on your phone. So that's an excellent little feature. Okay, so I'm going to be mounting this to my Carbon X light. So I'm hoping this can be mounted without having to use the stick-on pads. I'm hoping we can use the proper mount to get this on. So let's just unplug the unit itself a minute, turn it off, hold those down, turns the unit off, put it to one side. So the idea being is you pull away a bit of your liner and you slide this up the inside here. There's two Allen keys there. You actually get two Allen bolts. You get an Allen key supplied with the kit to adjust this. So if we just wind these out, it should open that clamp up. Now I think a lot of problems with intercoms come where people just rush the installation and don't do it properly. I think it's worthwhile really taking your time with this to get it installed as best as possible. Because let's face it, you know, it's important you can hear properly, so it's worth taking your time, pulling some of the lining out your helmet and actually getting it, you know, a proper decent installation. It will pay dividends later on. So yeah, it's a little bit stiff, but they just pry apart like that. And then what you've got, depending how thick your helmet is, you can change the size of this pad so it comes together. So, and also I want to remove this microphone because I want to use the wired mic. I don't want the boom mic, I want the wired mic. So I'm going to remove that as well. So let's remove the wired mic. It's just literally pushed in, so just pull that out. You've got a normal sort of mic jack on there. Put that to one side. We're going to go with this one. So we pop that in there, just clip it in. It's got a little tab at the bottom just to locate it, and then the bracket will sit back down over the top like that. So let's attempt to slide this inside the lining of my X light here. Pull your liner away, slide that underneath like that. And tuck that through again. So that is that now. Fiddly, it's fiddly. It is fiddly, this. But once it's done, it's done, you know. It's not something you're going to be redoing constantly. Fiddly, fiddly, fiddly foos. Fiddly, fiddly, fiddly foo. More fingers and thumbs. There we are. So that is now really well mounted. Don't have to worry about that coming off. That isn't happening. Okay, so it's all mounted. I've got the mic run round underneath my lining here. Now I'll just pull the inside lining out of the helmet to put the headphones through, speakers through. I've got one coming through there, so I'm just going to run them both. Now one thing I've read is these wires are actually form part of your FM antenna, so if you run those up over the top of your head through the lining, you'll get a much better radio reception, because that is actually your antenna for the radio. So I'm going to do that. So at the moment we're just going to push them in. It's quite fiddly, this. Obviously your helmet this is quite lucky because this helmet has a fully detachable lining on it, so I know this lining will come right out without any problems. So it's a bit of a bonus with this helmet. Lining back on. We've got one. Let's see if you can see this. There's the headphones. I suppose you call them headphones, speakers if you like. That's the speaker to run across to this side of the helmet. That's the one for your left ear. As you can see, there's a little recess in my helmet where your ears go, and I've got the speaker just sat in there. So this one's got to run over the top to the other side, so I'm going to feed this one under the lining. Now what the kit does come with is these little extending blocks, so if you want you can space the speakers out slightly in the helmet. So they've actually stuck quite well. They've actually stuck to the inner lining quite well. So there we are, installation fully complete on this now. I've spent a couple of days playing around with this. I've fitted it to the other helmet, Set up the intercom, tested the intercom, tested the music sharing. It all works exceptionally well. It's a very, very well thought out bit of kit. No complaints so far. I mean, the installation only took me 10 minutes on the other helmet. After completing it once on this one, it's really not too bad. There's fantastic features. The music sharing is really good. If one person's listening to music, they can hold this jog wheel down for 3 seconds, and then it transfers that music to the person you're paired with on the intercom, and they can then hear the music, and they can even jog it next track, previous track from the other person's phone. You know, it's very, very clever. The audio is really clear, really, really clear. The external ambience button works really well. They've changed the firmware on these. It's to double press of the intercom, of the external button, to actually activate it now. So that's slightly changed to what it says in the instructions. So that's one to bear in mind. Yeah, very, very pleased with it. I haven't used it on the road yet. We've only used it just messing about, but I think it's going to work great. I know the noise cancelling qualities of this are excellent, so I'm not really expecting any issues. So if you're in the market for an intercom, this is on the upper end. This is a fairly expensive unit, around £200, sort of $300 for the single version. But I think it's one of those things that it either works well or it's not worth having at all. It's one of those type things, I think, with an intercom. And I think it's worth paying that bit extra to get something which works very, very well. And this really does work well. It's got about 8 hours of talk time, 15 hours of standby time on the charge, 2.5 hours to charge it from the USB. Also water resistant, not fully waterproof, but water resistant. And if it gets wet, if any water gets in it, it actually shuts itself off until it dries out. Because of the jog wheel, obviously it's impossible to completely waterproof something with moving parts. So it's only water resistant. So if you're in a real heavy downpour, it might be worth taking it off and popping it in your inside pocket or something. But if it gets wet, it will turn off to stop itself damaging itself. But there we go. If you're after one of these, I had a great deal from Simon at Biker Mart. He sells these at a very competitive price, so it's worth giving him a buzz to see what he can do for you. But excellent bit of kit. If you subscribe to my channel, you'll see this in action when I'm out and about riding. So if you really want to see this in action, subscribe and you'll see how it works in real life. But thanks for watching. Speak to you soon. Bye bye.